Welcome to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection, the City of Crawfordsville's weekly podcast that comes out every Monday morning. I'm your host, Sarah Summer, and I'm joined in the studio every week with Mayor Todd Barton to keep our community up to date on current events, city workings, and to hear from community members on a variety of topics. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Welcome back to another episode of Crawfordsville Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Summer, and today I'm joined in the studio by Mayor Todd Barton.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be here.
Yes, it's another good day in the studio. Weather's changed a little bit
Yeah,
again.
weather's changing, but that's okay.
That's okay.
It's February.
Ready for
almost
spring. You know, we
March.
got a nice little tease to spring.
We did. Yeah, the warm weather was great.
Got
So,
everybody feeling productive and getting things done.
recharge us a little bit to get through to spring, hopefully.
Yes. Well, we don't have any announcements.
No, other than State of the City, State of the County are out. So
Yes.
they're on the platform. You can listen to those at your leisure.
Yeah, go check those out on Facebook or wherever you listen to the podcast. You should be able to find those. They are not numbered by episode. They are listed as a special episode.
Yeah. And I will say, like, if you listen to the podcast regularly and you listen to State of the City, for example, you're going to say, well, that's nothing new.
Yeah, there should be no surprises.
I knew all that already, right?
Yeah.
We talk about it all the time. So State of the City has a little different feel to it now because we're already talking about everything.
Yeah.
So if you're not tuning in and you just listen to that, you're going to hear a lot.
You
But
will.
if you're a regular listener, it seems like, this is kind of what we've already heard.
Right. Which is good
Which
too.
is good. That's exactly what we want. That's the point.
Yes. And today we have a brand new guest and a brand new topic. I know sometimes we have repeat guests and visitors in the studio,
We
but
do.
this time it's all brand new.
Yeah.
We have Colin O'Neill with us from O'Neill Golf Management and representing the Crawfordsville Country Club. Hello, Colin.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Mayor Barton.
Morning.
Colin, I will just go ahead and turn it over to you. And if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who is Colin, who is O'Neill Golf Management, and, what is your connection with the Crawfordsville Country Club?
Sure. Thank you. Well, thanks very much for having Colin O'Neill and O'Neill Golf Management and Crawfordsville Country Club on the podcast this morning. A lot of excitement surrounding the Crawfordsville Country Club, and we'll cover a lot today and be very informative to the community and everyone that's interested in finding out more information on the Crawfordsville Country Club. So exciting times ahead. So I grew up around the game of golf. I'm from Central Indiana. I was kind of a country club kid that hung out with his dad at the golf course starting around the age of 6 or 7. And just, hitting range balls, practicing on the putting green, just being around the game of golf. And I fell in love with it, as many young boys and young girls do, spending time with their loved ones around the golf course. And I know Sarah and her family have some experience in that as well. And so, I always kept the game of golf close to me, whether it was personal or professional. And, I went to Carmel High School, got a degree, and went to Purdue University and got a degree and got into the professional world and worked in a couple different industries. I sold some insurance and investment products for a little bit, sold some medical equipment for a little bit, rented some cars for a little bit, and then kind of had an epiphany at the age of 27 where I wanted to do something for the rest of my professional life and create a legacy for myself, my family. And so I took my dad out to dinner in September of 2014 and informed him that I was interested in getting into the golf industry.
Mm-hmm.
And as a loving father, he tried his very best to talk me out of that, as it's a very demanding industry to work within. Really, hours of operation are sun up to sundown. It seems like a very luxurious industry to work in. And it certainly has its perks and benefits, but it's a very demanding industry to work in. If you think about it, a golf course facility is a lot of different things. It's not just a golf course. It could be a restaurant. It could be a swimming pool, a tennis court, a fitness center, a social hub for private events. So it's a lot. And we do everything for the clients for which we operate and manage. But I got into the industry, like I mentioned, in the fall of 2014. I didn't work directly with Dad until January 2017. Doc O'Neill is my dad. He's my partner in O'Neill Golf Management and has been for 3 years now. But I started my career in Central New Jersey working for a larger golf course management company And I kind of learned the X's and O's for 3 years in a couple different markets. So I started at a semi-private club in central New Jersey, worked in a golf shop for 3 months, 7 days a week, just put in as many hours as I possibly could, as much customer interaction, tournament organization, event organization, member relations as I possibly could. I mean, I all I was doing was working every single day to try to learn as much as I possibly could to position myself for long-term success in this industry. After New Jersey, I moved to South Florida, managed a 36-hole private club down there, and then was promoted to a general manager position in Western Massachusetts. I managed a semi-private club there for 2 years. And then Papa Bear called and said, hey, time to come on home and join me.
Yeah.
And so January 1st, 2017, Doc and I started working together and managing golf courses in Indiana. And then fast forward to the end of 2022, we decided to form our own company, O'Neill Golf Management, LLC. We had 2 clients that were in our portfolio at that time, and we have since grown to 7 properties for which we're currently managing, including Crawfordsville Country Club. And we consult for clubs as well, Mayor and Sarah. So some country clubs or municipal golf courses or daily fee golf courses reach out to us and simply ask for a 90-day evaluation or maybe a 6-month evaluation and provide them a blueprint on how to operate effectively, short-term and long-term. But our relationship with Crawfordsville Country Club is that we manage and operate all aspects of the country club. We started our relationship with the country club on August 1st of last year, and we have a management agreement that is termed at the end of 2027. So we typically come to terms 2, 3, 5-year agreements with owners or boards or committees or foundations to manage all aspects of their operations. And really it's just turnkey. So board members, if they had an operational component to their position, that goes away when we come in. We truly want them to be board members, enjoy the club for all the amenities for what it's worth, and allow us to do our job and create a culture right away, implement strategies, initiatives, programs right away. Things take time. We're about 6 months in. We've seen some successes. We've learned some lessons. We're trying to pivot from those lessons and better ourselves going forward. But there's a lot of excitement at Crawfordsville Country Club. It's a wonderful country club. It's a historic Indiana golf course facility. Doc and I and our team at O'Neill Golf Management were really just thankful and grateful to have an opportunity to turn this club around and provide it a foundation and a path for long-term success that will continue to be a really strong community asset for Montgomery County and the city of Crawfordsville. So
yeah, absolutely. Mayor, hearing all of that, from your perspective, why does a professional management company like this matter to legacy institutions like the Crawfordsville Country Club?
Well, I'll just tell you this. I mean, the city also owns a golf course, and he's right, it's an incredibly challenging, tough business. I'm sure to average golfer, it seems simple on the surface, but when you have to manage one and keep it afloat, it is very challenging. And we did something similar. We had to bring in professionals who understand how to operate a golf course. So I think for the country club, that was clearly the right move, because you have to have someone who knows the X's and the O's and how to make this work. I always say about our golf course, years in, I had 2 conclusions. One, we needed a golf course, and number 2, the city could not run a golf course. And country club's probably in the same situation. You have to have somebody dedicated to that. And if we think about why we're talking about this, the country club is an important aspect of what we need, big picture in a community. We need these kinds of offerings. We want business here. We want leaders here. We want people coming to move here. I mean, we talk about this all the time. That's part of the big picture of what we need to offer in a community.
Absolutely. And Colin, you talked about there have been, changes since you've started, and just in those, 6 months with the Crawfordsville Country Club. Talk a little bit about some of those initial challenges, the early wins, and, what has the community feedback been since turning it over, knowing that the club has been membership run, board run for so long, and kind of seeing those hands change. What has that change been like?
Well, the club was established in 1906, so it's had a long, rich history, 120 years. It's certainly experienced some significant ebbs and flows. I would say the club was experiencing some glory days in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then, as Mayor Barton knows, as he was the fire chief, the original clubhouse burnt down in 2005. And that certainly was a jolt to the system, and the club had to rebound quickly. I would say that the pandemic and the year 2020 significantly, tampered any progress at the country club. Crawfordsville Country Club, it has an 18-hole championship golf course facility. It has a wonderful driving range, some short game practice areas, but the clubhouse is really the bread and butter. You have a full service restaurant with fine dining. You have wonderful banquet spaces. You have a swimming pool. You have conference room and office spaces for which you can utilize. So the majority of golf course facilities, it's mostly golf. It's 70-30 or 80-20, where Crawfordsville Country Club is really 80-20 or 70-30 the other way, where it's really social amenities versus the golf amenities.
Absolutely.
And so it's a little bit of an unorthodox approach, like we're used to. We're really used to coming in and managing a lot of golf and trying to put programs in place to grow activity through golf. Well, we're here. Our primary objective is to grow significant activity within the clubhouse through the membership, but also outside of the membership in the community, for which they can utilize the wonderful banquet spaces at the country club. So I think the initial challenges, Sarah, were probably 5+ years of culmination of struggles, both financially and from an activity standpoint. You need bodies, you need members in the clubhouse to utilize the country club to create that activity and that financial flow, if you will, to support the club long term. And if you don't have the bodies playing golf, utilizing the restaurant, booking events, attending social events that the club is putting on internally, it's very difficult to get ahead. You'll always kind of try to be catching up. So some early wins that we've experienced is really just community engagement, forming strong relationships with important organizations and businesses and people in the community. I've kind of told people I've been on a little bit of a speaking tour. If you're listening out there and you have an organization or business in and around Montgomery County that you would like O'Neill Golf Management to speak to and provide some information about the country club, I'm happy to do that. I've done that at multiple chamber events with the Rotary, the League of Women's Voters. Had Mayor Barton and a few of his constituents out for dinner at the country club, and much more. I'm probably forgetting a few. But really, it's when we come into a community, we want to be entrenched in the community and form relationships with key figures and key organizations. We're not just the big management company that's going to come in that you talk to once a month and we review some financial information and activity. We're on the ground. We're boots on the ground. The two pillars of the company, Colin and Doc O'Neill, you can expect to see us at least a couple times a week on site, whether it's for a few hours or 12 hours a day. I focus on the clubhouse, the member experience, and Doc focuses on the golf course product and working with superintendents and the agronomy teams. So some early wins on the golf course were we took a different approach to some different looks and a variety of layouts on the golf course, different approaches with things like turf management and aerification, chemical applications, mowing practices, how many times you change pin locations a week, tee locations, all that stuff is important. And it was kind of in autopilot mode. And now that we're in here, we will proactively put policies and procedures towards the management of the golf course and the clubhouse that will be sustainable and manageable going forward. And then in the clubhouse, just some presentation items that are impactful, like a new lighting system that's provided by Acuity Brands here in town, just providing us all new lighting within the clubhouse, over 4 or 5 different phases. Phase 1 and phase 2 have already been completed. So we provided brand new lighting for the lobby, the main level restrooms, and the coat check. The full service restaurant lighting has been completed. We move into the kitchen next Monday, the banquet space the following Monday. And so just little things like that, brand new carpet in the restaurant was recently installed. And then the golf course, the driving range, the aesthetics, the little things. It takes time. Again, we started on August 1st, so we haven't had a full golf season. We're continuing to learn a lot every day, and hopefully we'll find an operational groove here very quickly with the management of the golf course and the clubhouse, and create a culture that's very strong with the staff. Because the people, and Mayor knows this, and you know this, Sarah, I'm sure, it's really all about the people. And if you have the right people in place doing the right things for your operation, no matter what industry you're in, you are going to find success. So we're currently working with the team, trying to change things just a little bit or significantly in other areas to position ourselves for long-term success. And so the O'Neills are big in our sports analogies. It's like Crawfordsville Country Club for the last 5 years might have had a 3-13 record. Well, we might have a 6-10 record for the next month or so. But once that lid pops and the membership gets to the level we need it to, and the golf course is in great shape, and the upgrades have happened to the clubhouse, and private events are back. It takes time, and it will happen. And we need the confidence of the community, and we need the support of the community to make this happen. And it will.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned there's been some of those pieces that have caused some of that lack of buy-in, from 2005. Mayor, you can speak on the impact that had with losing the country club to start and then rebuilding. And then since then, there's kind of been this generational shift in membership. And, that's lost some of that. And then COVID hit and all of those pieces. Mayor, do you want to speak on, kind of how that shift started in 2005?
Well, I think, thinking back to that morning, certainly very vivid memories of that morning, but there was this sense of what next? I mean, where do you go from here?
Yeah.
It's gone, right? And sad to say, I mean, the location of the country club is perfect, but if the building's on fire in the middle of the night back there, nobody's going to see it until, it's just really too late. So yeah, I think there was this sense of what's next and how do we start? And it was a kind of a start over moment, for everybody involved. I remember sitting in the golf course side with that wasn't affected by the fire with the board members, and everybody's kind of scratching their head, like, what do we do next? But you did see that resurgence and everybody rallied together, and we are seeing, and I have been seeing, I think, that generational change as well.
Yeah.
Like everything else in our community, you see that kind of ebb and flow, and you see that switch over to a different generation and different views on how we do this, right? So I think you're seeing this is the next evolution in that, and probably what will carry it through to get to the next generation.
Yeah, it's Colin, you kind of mentioned it's balancing what are those modern expectations versus the traditional country club model. I think with that generational shift, we're seeing this traditional country club model doesn't work here. And I think the phrase country club sometimes has this negative connotation to it in a community like Crawfordsville, where people are like, oh, country club, or they think that's not for them. And, that's something that O'Neill Golf Management has been trying to change, is this can be for everyone. It's not just a country club, and it's not just golf. Like you had mentioned, there are other amenities. There are other things for people, but it's getting people to understand that. And I think, Mayor, we've talked about this before, is, you've seen it in different waves too, being mayor and being fire chief, like it's different people using the club than it used to be, or it's the same people who have always been using the club, but we're not getting that new wave of individuals.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind sometimes too. But, if I could recount how many people make a statement to me every year, I wish I had a place to get a good steak. Well, you do, but you're not thinking about it. So, we do have a fine dining experience there, and it's right in our backyard, but we have to make the community more aware of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And, something we haven't mentioned yet is the CCC was actually once the summer home of General Lew Wallace. And so that, that place and that property is rooted in history. So it's, how do you manage keeping some of that history alive and making sure the community is aware of that while also moving forward for the next generation?
His summer home way out in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should have had Larry Paulberg join us, and he could have filled us in on all the details. He's the expert. But amazing history.
We try to highlight that on our homepage of our brand new website, crawfordsvillecc.com. It was General Lew Wallace's summer home, Water Babel, and it's just a wonderful property. The golf course is actually fed by natural spring water, which is a pretty unique situation, which we're grateful and thankful for. But there's some plans to beautify the natural area behind the clubhouse that neighbors the swimming pool and the driving range, because that's a really neat scenic area that can really be utilized for private events, including weddings, receptions, and ceremonies, for which, our team really needs to get our boots on the ground and start getting to work here in the spring to really get that back in good graces and looking good out there. But it's sadly enough that happened in 2005, but we have a brand new clubhouse. It's wonderful. Like Mayor Barton was stating, that the food and beverage is really why the general individual is going to come out. The majority of people aren't going to be playing golf out there. So we need to make sure that we're putting our best foot forward and providing a really nice dining experience for everybody that wants to come out. And, we'll continue to grow the golf membership. It's tough to promote a golf course on October 1st when we started our membership campaign, when there's still a little bit of a negative reputation out in the community about the condition of the golf course. And that's no fault of anybody that's on our team currently or anybody at O'Neill Golf Management. But it's certainly something that you have to conquer over time. And so we might have to get creative, Mayor and Sarah, to invite some people out to experience the golf course this spring and potentially convert them to a golf member, because we can go to market on October 1st and say, hey, our golf course is going to be great next year. Well, those are just words. You need to enforce action right away and see the results on the golf course. So we're hopeful that will happen. But our marketing team is doing everything that they should be doing. A brand new website, constant interaction with followings on social media, spending some dollars on digital ads, Google ads, radio ads, print materials, direct mailers. We put some serious support behind this membership campaign over about 90 days to get the word out there. So if you did not hear that Crawfordsville Country Club is running a membership campaign starting October 1st, running through December 20th, I'm not sure where you were, because we were loud and proud about everything that we were trying to promote. So we're going to continue to do that and get the good word out there. But I would say these next 40 days are critical and getting us in position by April 1st to really have a robust membership roster. And the O'Neill Golf Management team and the board and the staff there are doing everything we can to get creative and forming or reforming relationships with commerce here in Crawfordsville, the corporate world, school corporations. So we've made some exclusive membership opportunity or offers to folks like Nucor, Acuity Brands, Lakeside Book Company, Crawfordsville Community School Corp, Southmont, North Montgomery School Corp, and basically opening our doors to everybody that works within those organizations, that you can become a member at Crawfordsville Country Club through an exclusive membership opportunity. Because we learned, Sarah and Mayor, over those 2.5, 3 months that we didn't quite have the golfer demographic that we might have expected we would receive. So we were trying to grow from the golf membership demographic from 75 to 80 people to 300 over the winter time, where we couldn't promote the golf course. So it's challenging, and we didn't see the results that we had hoped for. But we found better results in the social and the corporate categories.
Absolutely.
And we're continuing to push those categories as much as we possibly can to get as many bodies within those doors of the clubhouse to utilize the country club, because that's how it's going to sustain and thrive going forward.
Yeah, it's hard to say, hey, join us to come golf, but you can't golf for a few months, but it is easier to get people in the door, understanding, hey, there's a restaurant. We have events that you can attend. You can use this space to rent out for your events. There's opportunities for those people. And then once spring rolls around and people are seeing people out on the course, they're like, hey, that looks kind of fun. That looks nice. Or I could do that. And so, there is that opportunity there to convert some of those social members over to golf once, the seasons change and the golf course is looking great and people are utilizing the course. Now, I know you have some diehards that have been out there golfing, in those cooler months, but that's not, like you said, that's not the general public. That's not the general use of the country club. And so getting people, once that weather turns, I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
You're talking like a membership director. I like it, Sarah.
Yeah.
Convert social to golf.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes. Well, your campaign, you've called it Journey to 300, with that goal of 300 memberships in mind. Talk about how that can help create that sustainability for the CCC, so you're not seeing that generational shift or that, lagging shift in membership still.
Mm-hmm. Well, these are annual golf memberships, so they're not lifetime memberships, but we basically broke down the membership categories for the Journey to 300. It was called it was called Journey to 300 because we wanted to get to 300 annual golf members. We fell short of that goal, as I mentioned before. However, we exceeded our goals in the social and corporate categories. We have 3 golf memberships. If you're age 36 and over, that's one. If you're age 25 and over, that's another. 18 and over, that's another. You can pay in full. You can pay the annual fees and then pay monthly as you go along. You can add spouse. You can add family members. So, instilling that youth, the families, the young adult families in Montgomery County and Crawfordsville is imperative. So providing a robust social calendar for those younger families to take part in events. Like recently, we had a Breakfast with Santa event on December 6th. We had an indoor putt-putt event on January 31st. We had a Valentine's candlelit dinner. We'll do a Easter egg hunt coming up. We'll have some July 4th activities, Memorial Day activities. Sky's the limit for social events. I mean, you can do anything from line dancing to karaoke to fitness instruction. But we need to come to the plate, and we need to provide a lot of different opportunities of variety for all walks of life to utilize the country club. So the Journey to 300 was a daunting task, and we'll continue to climb that mountain to get to that number. But as we stand right now, the country club has just shy of 200 members. That includes spouses and children, and that includes all categories. So golf members were encroaching about 100. But like I mentioned, those corporate exclusive opportunities through those companies, organizations, school corps, what have you, that's going to get us to the level that we need to get to.
Yeah,
because the individual approach, reaching out to the marketplace, whether it's an individual, a couple, just purchasing a membership, we feel that the well hasn't run dry per se, but I think our energy and our focus needs to be more so on the corporate and the social categories, because we found success and we need success right away. So we'll continue to focus on those categories, but not turning a blind eye to the golf membership as we continue to grow in numbers there. But again, the golf course has to be great, and it has to be maintained to a very quality level for people to buy into a golf membership. We already have the fine dining restaurant. We already have the banquet space. So those sell themselves. But we need to continue to push the product at the golf course to bring those membership levels up. on our timeline, the club is scheduled to go fully private April 1st. So we're doing everything we can to inform non-renewals, which are people that were members in 2025 or previous years, that if you want to utilize Crawfordsville Country Club starting on April 1st, you will need to be a member, whether it's a golf, social, or corporate membership category. You certainly can continue to bring guests out there and utilize the restaurant, utilize the golf course. It'll continue to be open to the public in regards to our banquet spaces. So anybody and everybody can get married out there and host a rehearsal dinner, graduation party, baby shower, whatever it may be. And you can find all that information on our website. So we try to do our very best to direct people to our website and our social media pages as we try to be as informative as we possibly can. I do want to invite people to visit our company website too, to learn more about us as well. O'Neill Golf, that's ONEAL golf.com. And check us out, review all the services that we provide all our clients, see where we are located in the state. All 7 of our facilities that we're managing are in Indiana. So there's benefits to members at Crawfordsville Country Club to utilize our other golf courses. We manage 3 within about 45 minutes of Crawfordsville Country Club. So that has true value to a member as well. I want to go to Attica or Battleground or Fowler this coming week to play around a golf, where you're going to find savings being a Crawfordsville Country Club member playing golf at those other O'Neill Golf managed facilities. So we're going to continue to push, but it's phone calls, it's emails, it's personal letters, maybe not just from staff or management, but maybe from a board member that has an existing relationship with a non-renewal, selling them on the promising future of the country club and trying to lock as many people in as we can before that April 1st date.
Yeah. And, some of the things you've already talked about for how the CCC benefits the entire community, there's opportunity to host your events there. You mentioned baby showers, graduation parties, weddings, rehearsals, any of those things. There's not a ton of venues in our community. And so the Crawfordsville Country Club is an perfect opportunity for that. You have the outdoor space, you have the indoor facility, you have flexibility there. And then, there's corporate outings. If you have a corporation that you want to have come out and do a golf outing with a catered lunch, there's opportunity there. Business networking meetings. I know there are some, different corporations that will come out and host, couple day retreats out at the country club, and they'll have their meals there. And, it's not focused on golf, but it's a business space where you can meet and, you're offsite. And then, of course, you have employment opportunities. It's a benefit to the whole community for a number of different reasons outside of just golf. And I guess, Mayor, for you, we kind of touched on this at the beginning, but why do amenities like this matter when we're trying to recruit businesses or families to move to Crawfordsville?
It's part of the big picture. I mean, we have to have these kinds of offerings. And the question comes up when we're recruiting businesses to Crawfordsville. This question, I'm not going to say it's the top of the list. They want to talk about taxes and utility costs and that kind of stuff. But this comes up, and they want to know that they have these kinds of options because, a lot of times they have clients coming in from out of town. They need a place to go have lunch or dinner and be able to talk business and take care of things. So offerings like this are really important. And then if they're choosing to live in our community, these a lot of times they're looking for this kind of amenity in our community as well.
Yeah.
So it's all part of the big picture that we have to offer in a community to be successful.
Yeah, we talk about quality of life, and
quality of life, quality of place.
This is one perfect example of that. But, like we've talked about, it's only as good as the people who are utilizing this space. And so it can't, and we talked about this with, our public transportation, all things. It's demand driven. If there's not the demand for it, it can't be successful.
And I go back to our tagline, be here, be known. If you walk in the doors at the country club, you got to be known.
Yes.
I mean, people are going to come up and talk to you. They know you,
Yeah, that's the whole point, and it's a social hub. You go there because you can walk in and they know your drink order. They know what you're going to, you're a regular. You get this every time, and they'll have those things ready for you. If you want an experience like that, you can do that at the Crawfordsville Country Club. And, it's that be here, be known. take the opportunity to find your place in the community, and it could be here at the CCC.
We have a customer service motto at O'Neill Golf Management. It's engage, inform, and accommodate. And if you don't complete that first step of engaging with somebody who walks through your door, whether it's a prospective member or a 75-year member, that is so important. And then once you check that box of engaging with them, you inform them of everything they can take part of at the country club. Once you know that what they're interested in, once you know what they're interested in regards to utilizing the country club, then you can accommodate their every need. But if you don't engage with the people and get to know them, get to know their family members, what they like to eat, what they like to drink, their preference on, golf shop apparel or golf equipment, that stuff, the privatization, the customization of a private country club life is important. I think it's important to remember people's names and good eye contact and firm handshakes. I think that goes a long way. I think that creates a brand, a culture, and that stuff can happen pretty quickly. But you have to have the team buy in. But you have to care. I remember somebody in Massachusetts back in 2015. He came into the golf shop and said, "Colin, I've walked in here every single time for the last couple months, and you've known every single person's first and last name. I have no idea how you do that. How do you do that?" And my simple response was, I simply care. And I just looked them in the eye and I get to know them. And as the president and the co-owner of O'Neill Golf Management, I hope the 300 plus employees that work for us see how we operate and implement that into their daily practices as well. So that's just what we're trying to accomplish yet again at another historic Indiana golf course facility.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you mentioned April 1st is kind of this target for going fully private. Why was this decision made? And, sometimes because the club had been private and then in recent years it opened to the public. And I think that confused some people too of, it's open to the public. I didn't even know the place was open at all. It raises eyebrows. Now it feels like backwards maybe to some people, like, you're closing the doors again. How do you help the community understand, why that decision was made and, why it's a benefit to join then? Sure.
Well, I can't speak directly as to the past couple of years, but I think that was a reactive or a reactionary move is, we need to open it up to the public from a golf course standpoint and a restaurant and a clubhouse standpoint, because we need the bodies yet again. Our approach with taking it fully private, Sarah, on April 1st was the exclusivity and the community of a private club in Crawfordsville. The relation we have with other golf course facilities or country clubs within our marketplace, having the Crawfordsville Municipal Golf Course and Rocky Ridge and the Country Club of Terre Haute and Harrison Hills and some other Lafayette, Indiana golf course facilities. We felt that Crawfordsville Country Club needed to go private again to create that differentiation within our marketplace. Crawfordsville needs a private country club. And this membership campaign was developed and structured to get us back to the level of membership for which we can operate responsibly without needing the income support of the general public through the golf course and the restaurant and the banquet spaces. But we do want to stress that the club will continue to be open for booking private events for anybody and everybody. But on April 1st, the golf course will become fully private once again, and so will the restaurant. But you can continue to bring your guests out as well. So again, I will direct everybody to the website and check out our membership pages to see all of our different options for the memberships for 2026.
Yeah. And, I think as we're looking at this and just kind of wrapping everything up, what's one word that you would use to describe the CCC's future?
Fulfillment. I would say that everybody in this world wants fulfillment with whatever they're doing. I think I'm not going to say by the time our time might not be done at the end of 2027, Sarah, because typically we make such a significant impression at these golf courses that we're managing, that we're revitalizing, that we stick around sometimes significantly longer than our original term.
Yeah.
We've been at a course for 18 years in Westfield and 10 years in Elwood. So
Wow.
we have some long-standing relations. But I would say that fulfilling the expectations of the members, again, whether they've been around for 75 years or just 1 or 2 years, meeting the expectation of the membership, the community, the commerce that supports Crawfordsville, Montgomery County, and being the best that we can be, and that's fulfillment. And so we have to take a daily approach, learn from our mistakes, learn from our failures, pivot, be better going forward, realize what we did correctly in our successes, continue to do those things or compound on those things, and treat people right, both our people that work for us, the members, and the people that want to utilize the country club. I mean, we're good people, we're welcoming people, we're accommodating people. So I want people to know that. And we have a long track history of success, but we don't get called from golf course facilities that are doing well from an activity and a financial standpoint. And this is just another case that we're fully committed to make this work. And there's some serious conversations right now with O'Neill Golf Management and the board with some institutions in the community about providing some creativity to get us back on a solid foundation, both financially and from an activity standpoint, that may come to life here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So there could be some very exciting announcements in the next several weeks regarding the country club, in regards to the future and sustainability of the country club coming from financial support.
Yeah.
So we're just grateful and thankful to be here. It's been fun this morning talking to you all, and I love talking golf. I love talking about people and the impact we can make on communities.
So I guess, thinking about, we've talked about how there's that generational shift. The country club, there's some people who were members and haven't been for a long time. So if somebody hasn't stepped foot on CCC property in 5-10 years, what do you think would surprise them most today?
Well, there's been ebbs and flows in the last 5 to 10 years in regards to the golf course. But I think if they came out on, let's say, April 1st or April 15th and viewed the golf course product, they would probably be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to AJ Sutherland's Lawn Care, who've been maintaining the golf course product for the last couple of years. AJ's a wonderful person. His team's a hardworking crew. And we're thankful for their support on the golf course. But I think AJ and the crew had the golf course in really good shape when we aerified last October. People don't know what aerification is in regards to a golf course. It's just punching holes in your greens and providing your putting surfaces that chance to be at its optimal health. But when we punched greens and top dressed greens last year, I mean, I played with some members, I think on like October 20th last year. It was my first time ever playing Crawfordsville Country Club. It's a wonderful layout. It's a tale of two nines. So the front nine's a 1906 design. The back nine was about 85 years later, and you will see it.
Yeah.
The front nine is right in front of you, tree line, classic country club feel. You and Nick and your family grew up on that front nine, and also a little bit of the back nine. But the back nine is a wider variety of holes, more terrain, a little more difficult. So if you're looking for a challenge, back's probably your preference. If you're looking for just straight ahead of you, a little bit of an easier 9 holes of golf, that would be your front nine. And so it's a wonderful place. And then I think in regards to walking into the clubhouse, and shout out to your mom.
Yeah.
Sue is our housekeeper, Sarah's mother. She does a great job, but the clubhouse is looking really nice. So when you walk in the doors, the information board to the left, the Crest logo right when you walk into the lobby, all the brand new lighting, the brand new carpet in the restaurant, things are looking really good right now, and they'll continue to improve. So I think, and that's kind of who we are, the aesthetics, the presentation of everything. We're actually approached with the question at our first member recruitment event, what can we expect immediately from you?
Yeah.
And we said presentation, aesthetics, like you can see, the bathrooms will look a little more tidy. The restaurant will, the bag storage room and the golf shop was reconfigured. Our director of golf, Zach Walden, who's a Wabash grad, did a wonderful job this winter of reconfiguring the golf shop. So when you walk into the golf shop for your first round of golf, it'll be completely different looking with brand new apparel from FootJoy that's all logoed. So we're trying to do the right things for when people come back and give us a shot. They're wowed. They're like, look at what they're doing here. This is great. I want to be part of this community. And not only do I want to be part of this community, I have a network of 25 friends or family members. Maybe they can join too. So it's just a compounding effect for which we're excited to see the successes.
Absolutely. And, someone looking for more information about the CCC, where can they go and what is their best point of contact?
So CrawfordsvilleCC.com is our website. That's the best place to go. However, we are on Facebook and Instagram and on social media. We're very active there. We'll post social media posts about 3 times a week with a great variety of content. So one post might be about our junior golf programs, and then we'll segue to our weekly specials in the restaurant, and then we'll segue to membership and then private events. We're always trying to promote everything that we can promote, but effectively and efficiently. You don't always want to be promoting golf with 6 social media posts in a row. Right. You got to change it up a little bit. But come on out, and grab a meal and play around the golf before April 1st and see how you feel out there. Yeah. And but there's a couple emails that go to our team. The info at crawfordsvillecc.com comes to me. Okay. So that's a one-stop shop. We don't have general managers at the clubs that we manage. We are the general manager. So I act as the general manager at all of our facilities. It's not a traditional setup where I'm at the club 6 days a week. I'm at the clubs once or twice a week, and I empower the staff and the department managers to put their best foot forward and operate and perform at the levels we expect them to. But I think we're set up for success. We just need the bodies. I mean, we've done a lot of great things from a sales and marketing approach, and you'll continue to see that through digital media. But just come on out and experience it yourself. And feel free to shoot me an email if you want to set a meeting with me and have a tour of the clubhouse, have a tour of the golf course. We're all ears. We're ready to accept your request to meet, and we're excited to have you out at the club.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Colin. Mayor, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I agree. Go check it out. Yeah. And see what it's about now.
Yeah. It is. It's changed, with that generational shift. There's been a shift in needs at the club. And like you said, you're kind of creating that wow factor. People walk in, things look different, things feel different, and it gives new life to something that's been a long-standing tradition in our community, and revitalizing it while keeping that history and keeping the life and spirit alive, of what the CCC has been, and just helping it move forward. So Colin, thank you for the work that you and Doc and your whole team are doing at the CCC to keep it moving forward, keeping the place alive. And, we'll put your contact information in the show details. So if you're listening and you're thinking, I haven't been out there, or I was a member and I want to check it out again, people can find that information pretty easily. But Colin, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Mayor Barton.
Thank you.
Yes. And listeners, as always, if you have topics or things you'd like to hear about, please feel free to reach out and let us know. And don't forget to check out Yodel, our Community Connections calendar and newsfeed for all things happening in Crawfordsville in one easy and convenient location. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button on this podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you aren't already, follow us on Facebook at City of Crawfordsville Official, on Twitter at City of Seaville, and on Instagram at City of Crawfordsville. We hope you have a wonderful day and can't wait for you to join us next week.